I'm back. Road Rants on the Mandalorian, Chapter 5, The Gunslinger. Spoiler review, but first. Okay, Chapter 5. Literally, we start the episode in a gunfight. That's right. In space, the Mandalorian is in a dogfight with what looks like a serious nod to an old Naboo starfighter. Okay. And at first, I thought it was Rick Oley from the Phantom Menace. Okay. But I believe he was injured, and I don't think he's able to fly anymore. If my research is right, that was a character named Riot Marr. Okay, bounty hunter. No context other than that. Mandalorian gets through the gunfight in space, does a shifty little move where he basically throws on the brakes, gets behind him, and he blows the shit out of that son of a bitch. Okay, so then he comes up on a planet. You're like, whoa, Tatooine. That's right. And he lands in what looks like the hangar where the Millennium Falcon was in A New Hope. I'm sure it wasn't. There's plenty of hangars on Mos Eisley, right? But it was Mos Eisley's spaceport, sure enough. And we see the little droids, the pit droids from the prequels. God, Favreau and Filoni. They've got these little nods, these little Easter eggs, these little additions that are just perfect to this show. Comedian Amy Sedaris plays a lady that is essentially that works the hangar. Okay, it's her hangar, I guess, and he has taken some damage to the ship, and she's like, "Hey, I need some money," and he's like, "Okay." So he leaves. He's going to figure out a way to make a little cash. And he walks into the cantina from A New Hope. No shit. By the way, the R4 unit that shit the bed in A New Hope is in there. Okay. Very cool. And what looks to be one of Jabba's droids is working the cantina, which is funny because remember, no droids allowed. We don't let your kind in here. You remember that? Well, now the droid is working the cantina. Funny stuff. Very cool nod. And so right off the bat, you've got A New Hope. You got a bunch of prequel references. Return of the Jedi, A New Hope. I love this show. I can tell you right off the bat. Oh, and by the way, as he's coming in, he walks past those stormtrooper helmets on those sticks. Very cool scene. God, this show continues to be very nice on the visuals. I mean, they've got this show on the visuals, high quality. He meets a guy, a young bounty hunter in the cantina, and I swear to God, he is sitting in the booth. His name is Toro Calican, and he's sitting in the booth. I swear to God that Han Solo was sitting in, and the kid is sort of reminiscent of Han a bit. Okay, you find out the kid is tracking a bounty, not the Mandalorian, but he is tracking Fennec San or Shand Ming Na Wing from 2.5 Men and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The mercenary gun assassin is the bounty. And the Mandalorian, the guy's like, "Can you help? Hey, I'll give you some money." Mandalorian's like, "I need money." And they're off. Mandalorian tells him to grab some speeder bikes. Speeder bikes look like the ones Anakin rode in Attack of the Clones. If I remember correctly, he took a speeder bike out to kill Tusken Raiders everywhere, right? Remember? Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. I would be remiss if I did not mention the fact that the whole time I'm thinking Boba Fett. I'm thinking it, right? I'm like, we did see a do-back. They had a little run-in with Tusken Raiders. They played Let's Make a Deal. They gave their binoculars up for safe passage. As the Mandalorian knows Tusken Raider sign language. Very freaking cool. I love that. I love that sort of little thing. I was missing this kind of stuff in the last episode. I really was. I hammered the last episode. This episode is back to Western form, true Western form, out in that desert setting. God, it helps so much that it's a planet that we know and we're familiar with. They track down the assassin after she's trying to sniper them. Mandalorian uses flashbangs, alternating to get up to her at night. They get the drop on her. Now, Mandalorian's like, we need another ride. Mandalorian's like, I'll go get that do-back that we saw a while back on the way. Well, she informs the young bounty hunter, and this is his first bounty, so he's very gullible, that, hey, that's the bounty hunter that blasted out of Navarro at the guild, killing a bunch of bounty hunters. And his prize is worth a lot more than I am. You bring him in, you're legendary. And that's what the kid's looking for. He's got a little of that Han Solo. I'm looking to be the man. All right. And so anyway, the Mandalorian comes back. They try to run a little okey doke. Doesn't work. By the way, the kid shot first. He decides to just shoot the female bounty hunter, Finnick, just shoots her. Now, whether or not she's dead, I don't know. They don't make that clear. They don't. Although the Mandalorian leaves her there. Mandalorian's smart. He takes no chances. He just shoots the kid and gets that over with, right? Now, he's going back to the hangar, and he pays the old, not old lady, but she's kind of dirty looking, that's working the hangar. Baby Yoda had sauntered out looking extra cute in the episode. I'm somewhat glad that this episode kind of came off of Baby Yoda a little bit. So we made it about the Mandalorian again. Okay. More so. Let's put it that way. He gets back. The repairs have been done on his ship. But the episode's not over. We flash over to Finnick Shan's body out in the desert, and somebody with boots and a cape is walking up. You can even hear like a little jingle, like spurs, right? Now, we don't know who this is. I suspect they're trying to set it up like, oh, it's Boba Fett. No, I don't think so. I believe it's Moff Gideon, Giancarlo Esposito's character. That's what I'm believing. That's where the episode ends. So we got a much better ending this time. I said last time that bounty hunter showing at the end of the last episode didn't do much for me. Okay. Sure, it was one of the better parts of the episode, but it didn't drop a little bomb on us like the first 3 episodes did. Well, this one dropped a little bomb because, there's somebody there we don't know. And it looks like somebody significant. Okay. So, great little nugget. Dave Filoni, he can direct live action. I love the fact that the setting went back to a place that we know and we love in the hearts of Star Wars. Look, guys, The Mandalorian is better than the Disney trilogy 5 episodes in. And it's not even close. Mandalorian can still take some punishment. He's not perfect. The character building for his character continues to progress. And I'll definitely be watching this episode. I watched it twice. I'll definitely be putting in my normal 5 watch that I have for the other episodes, except episode 4, which I've only seen like 2.5 times. You tell me what you think about the Gunslinger. I liked it a lot. Oh, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. The musical score was really good in this one. A little more Western. I thought this was the most non-jarring musical score of the. It really flowed into the episode much better than I thought it has in the past. It got a little better last episode, but this one was particularly smooth for me. The musical score. Visuals are always on point. Pedro Pascal's on point as the Mandalorian. He does a great job of conveying emotion from somebody wearing a mask. We've seen that before, Darth Vader. By the way, he drops the no good to me dead. He drops that line in this thing, by the way. Interesting. Peace. I am out until next time.